Hey guys, it's Damien. I wanted to do a real quick video. I wanted to talk about three things that, as an entrepreneur, owning your own business, starting a business, and growing it, I have kind of experienced and kind of learned the hard way, I guess you could say, through experience. But really quick, if you don't know much about me, if you haven't seen my videos, I own and operate a candy company that sells worldwide. We started very, very small. We hand make actually about 500 different types of sweets. We started literally from nothing. I started with a very small store on eBay, and I've grown now to sell to over 15 countries and counting. Excuse me. But I also hold several patents. I'm an inventor as well. I hold seven patents on some inventions that I completed a few years ago. I have a degree in marketing, and I am doing some videos just to really kind of give my own experience about starting a company and some advice on growing it. This one in particular, this video, I wanted to just talk about if you've made a decision to start a business and you're not very sure about what it is that you need to know about starting a business, you just know that, hey, I'm really good at making such and such product, or I offer a great service. No, but where do I start? Like, where do I go from there? The internet is a wonderful place to get answers to literally any question that you have in minds in regards to starting a business from scratch. And if you've never have experience in it, do not get afraid or do not back down from pursuing it. The best way to battle the fear of starting a company or even starting a big goal of any kind is to just start. And I know that may sound kind of simple and kind of cheesy, but it's actually true. Just start it. If you don't know much about online business or starting something from scratch and creating it, Google as many questions as you can to find out for yourself. I would really say, like, invest in yourself as much as possible. There are a lot of wonderful resources online. There are tons and tons of business books. There's a lot of great YouTube videos, and to be honest with you, there's a lot of YouTube videos that are full of a bunch of garbage. The idea that you're going to make money in a month, that you're going to do hundreds of thousands of dollars in a month by selling something online, to be honest with you, that's baloney, malarkey, bullcrap, I guess, for lack of better words. A true, honest business, if you're starting from scratch and you want to grow it and you want it to be a business for your entire lifetime, or maybe just, for 20 or 30 years, a business takes time to grow, to build a customer base, to market your product, to market your service, to create a brand for yourself. There's a lot more to it than just sending some stuff in to a website and selling it, or opening a website, or starting a store on Amazon or Etsy and then just taking some pictures and hoping that it sells. That doesn't work. It's not going to work. If people tell you it does, please don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. It takes a lot of investment of your hours every day, effort, focused on a goal, focused on a specific sales, focused on a lot of things that you really need to put time and effort into to truly make it work and grow. The concept or the idea of the schemes are just that. They're just schemes. They're not planned out businesses that have a foundation that you can grow and build from, and it's not going to last very long. So if that's your intentions, this video is probably not for you. So what I was going to say is, when I first started my business, I did not have a focused plan as to how I could get from A to B. A being my starting point, and obviously B growing it and continuing to develop it. You're going to learn as you go, and you're going to have a lot of questions that you need to ask. The best thing is to be as patient with yourself as possible. And I know that to some people that may sound a little odd, but you have to be patient with yourself and give yourself time to understand business and understand how it grows. Every business is different. It doesn't matter what you're selling. If it's a product or a service, it makes no difference. Every business model is different. Where you are, how you're selling it, your approach online. There are hundreds of variables that will differentiate one business from another. So you really can't just paint a single brush of a method or some kind of methodology or some type of plan of attack that's going to work for this guy's business and your business and everyone else's business. So understand that your path, your direction, the way that you're going with your business is going to be unique unto your product or service. But there are a lot of existing businesses that are out there, and then there's a lot of people that you can not necessarily get a mentor from, but you can definitely read up about and get information from them. A lot of times finding a mentor, if you're looking to have a one-on-one with a very, very highly successful person, it's very difficult to obviously do that because they're traveling or they're highly successful to the point where they only meet with a few people. They have very small circles of friends. So, but there's a lot of wonderful books. There's a lot of wonderful resources online that you can learn about those people's lives, what they did, how they became extremely successful. Also, the level of success that you're going to have is going to vary, and also your definition of what success is to you is going to be much different than somebody else. There may be someone that goes into business that wants to become highly successful financially, and that's great. Obviously, that's what you want to do is you want to make money. But there's a lot of other parts to owning your own business where you can also, the quality of life is better, spending time with your family, having the chance to take care of yourself as far as exercise. You can work your own schedule where you can create a healthier living lifestyle. There's a lot of benefits to having a business outside of the realm of money. So just keep that in mind that if you're striving to have a business, you need to incorporate your lifestyle into it, your family, of course, making money, traveling, seeing places, visiting family, anything that activities that make your life and your experience a much richer one. That's something that you really need to keep in mind as well. And it should be a part of owning a business. There are some people who don't have any interest in any of that. They're just seeking money, and that's fine. That's okay. Wish them all the luck and the best. If your objective is strictly money and such, there's going to be a time when it's going to be kind of an unbalanced lifestyle. I can tell you right now before it happens is if you are looking for, if you're just seeking financial gain and putting money in a bank, and you're going to work 24/7 for that, and you're going to burn yourself out, you're not going to have any type of a quality of life. Your health will be something that's not going to be a priority, and anything else that is more meaningful, you will not experience. So I would recommend that something that I've had to learn to balance, and I'm still having to balance it, and you're going to do it every single day, is when you start a business and you invest in yourself and you want to develop yourself and learn more about your craft or learn more about becoming better at what you do, factor into the equation somewhere that you need to factor in some parts where you're going to have days off and you're going to have the ability to have a good quality of life as opposed to just all about money. So the other thing I was going to touch on really quick is decision making. When you start a small business and when you start a business from scratch, you're going to make hundreds, literally hundreds of decisions every single day. There won't be a day that you're not going to mentally make a decision about something. Even when you take your time off, you don't necessarily have a time or day off ever when you have your own business. But mentally, you need to train yourself to make decisions and be decisive about what you do and what you decide to do. One of the worst things that you can do that'll defeat yourself is lacking in confidence when you make decisions about your business. You got to understand that you're the one that's in control of it. It's your vision. It's your product or service. It's your goal. Everything that you do day in and day out for that business, it becomes you. You become part of it, and it becomes part of you. And the decisions that you make, you need to make them and be done with it. And just basically kind of live with the consequences. But what you should do is learn from them. If they are decisions that just don't benefit you in a more positive way, don't look at it as failure. Don't look at it as a negative. Just look at it as this decision this didn't pan out correctly. Let me see what I can learn from it, and then move on to your next decision. Because you're going to be bombarded with questions that need to have decisions and answers every single day, and you need to understand that that's normal. That's part of having a business. And as you grow, your decision making is going to increase even tenfold, even more so. So just understand that you need to stick with your decisions, be decisive about it. Don't make a decision and then the ramifications come back, and then you're beating yourself over the head with it. That's not going to be constructive. It's not going to be positive, and it's not going to help your company create a foundation that you can really grow on and build on. Because if you start second guessing your decisions constantly, then you're going to make really wrong decisions, and it could have really bad ramifications for your business. The other thing was the other topic was risk. You have to understand that when you start a company, again, you're not going to know exactly whether it's going to really work or not. Of course, that's your hope, and that's what you want to do. You want it to be successful. You want it to grow. You want to hire people. You want to create jobs for others. You want to have an environment that's fostering productivity, that's fostering a benefit that will help more than just yourself. That's the big grand scheme, the big grand goal of what you're trying to do. But risk is going to be involved with anything that you do, of course, a day in and day out. But when you more so when you have a business of your own, and when you're making decisions for your business, but don't ever be afraid of taking a risk, because there's two sides. There's two things that can happen, and this is what I've experienced and what I found out. If you don't take a risk, if you don't try something, you may not even have to look at it as a risk. You can look at it in a way of just trying something new or something different. If you never try it, if you never risk the chance to make a decision to do something you've never done before, you're going to know the answer. You're going to know that it's just a failure. It failed. It didn't work. It's something that's not going to pan out if you ever take a risk. The fun part, the most exciting thing is if you take a risk, you never know what you could get. If you don't make a decision, a concrete decision to do something, and you really sit back and you've allowed yourself to get so scared of making a decision or taking a risk in the direction of opening a business or starting something new, you've already got your answer. You already know that you failed. You've never even given it a shot. But the beautiful thing about taking risks is you can either succeed in it or you could fail and learn from it. But the fact that you don't ever take a risk, you know for a fact that's never going to work. Nothing that's ever been created in life by any human being. Being an inventor that I am, I've looked a lot into different inventors over the decades and over the centuries who've created things, and nothing that we have today in our modern life would have ever existed, and that would have ever brought the quality of life that we all have today if someone didn't take a risk to create something and believe enough in that thought, because every invention is nothing more than a thought that's been brought to reality. If you look at everything around you, from the computer that I'm talking on here, to the shirt that I'm wearing, to the panels on the ceiling above me, everything that we have around us is somebody's thought that they have just simply brought into existence. And we use that. And every day we use it. We don't really think like that all the time. But when you do think that way, it's amazing to think to yourself that, you know what, everything around me is someone else's thought. So if they have thoughts and they have the ability to create something, I can use my thoughts in the very same way. If you focus on something, if you want to create an idea, if you have an invention, whatever it may be, and you focus on it and you spend the time to create it and to bring it to life, if it's a business, exact same thing. A business is an entity that you have to have a thought of it first. You've got to create it in your mind, and you got to keep that there. And if you don't have it as clearly spelled out in your mind, the more definite and the more specific you are about it, the better off it is, and the better chances you have of making that into something that's tangible that you can grow, like a business, a product, a service, whatever it may be. But everything around us is somebody else's idea. So why don't you take your mind, and you have the ability to think and come up with an idea for something, maybe something that you're interested in, something that you're passionate about, something that you love to do. Those are the first keystone things to starting any business. Is definitely find something that keeps you up late at night and gets you up early in the morning. And if it doesn't do the two of those, I would say don't even bother. Don't waste your time. Just don't waste your time. If you find something that you can end up putting your energies and effort into 12 hours and 13 hours a day, go to sleep, and then you're up back the next day, that's something, whatever it may be, that's what you need to do. And to believe it or not, no matter what it is, you will make money with it. If you stick to it and you allow yourself the time for it to grow, it makes no difference what it is, what you're making. There are people who became billionaires from clothing lines, lines of apparel that they've made. They've become multimillionaires. There are companies that were started by garbage men who picked up garbage, who create multi-million-dollar garbage collection companies where they break down garbage now, and they can create electricity and energy from it, and that opens up a whole nother vast variety of services from collection of garbage. So if somebody can make money collecting garbage, making a clothing line, if you've come up with an invention for a toothbrush, It doesn't even make a difference. If it's a toothbrush that can brush your teeth more efficiently, get a patent for it and sell it, and you'd be surprised that people make money off of it. Oh, well, there's already about 100 different toothbrushes on the market, Damien. How would you make money with it? No, 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 no. There are people who, when I started my company, we make candy. Candy has been around a heck of a long time before I was even born, and I've been able to cut out a wedge, take a little bit of a wedge of the huge piece of pie of the candy industry that I make money off of making candy. So if I'm able to make money off of making hard candies, brittles, cake balls, whatever it may be, I've been able to create a business that I have a portion of that pie. I make money off of it. I make a very good living doing that. And as it grows and becomes something bigger, then I can make even more money doing it. So it doesn't make a difference what you make. It doesn't make a difference when you start making it. Just start it. So I hope that little bit of information kind of helps you out. I'm going to have up a handful of other videos on some how-tos for selling online. Do like our page. If you have any questions or comments about my videos, please do let me know. I'll always answer them, and I do hope that helps. Thanks.